Hi there. So I'm Mike. I'm from a company called ScriptRock. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm going to tell you about how we help companies all over the world define, share, and run configuration tests across their complex infrastructure. So what does this mean? Well, every day we're inundated with configurations and settings on everyday devices. In the consumer world, this might be one of the ones that you may have been familiar with. It's the data roaming setting on your phone. If you happen to go overseas and you forget to let Patrick know that you need a data roaming pack, you could end up with a bill that kind of looks like this. Now, it's pretty shocking, right? But the reality is that these types of configurations exist in the enterprise, and they're orders of magnitude more complex. And when you get it wrong, it's pretty dangerous. Now, it's true that Mike and a lot of other people have said that software is eating the world, but the problem for businesses dealing with this software is that with every piece of these applications or infrastructure, they come with thousands, hundreds of different settings that need to be maintained en masse by teams. And unfortunately, they're in weird languages, they're stored in strange places, and they're very, very hard to share across teams. In fact, it gets so bad that when they get it wrong, it's absolutely dramatic. This is Night Capital. I think someone mentioned Night Capital before. It's an amazing case study. On the 1st of August this year, these guys got it wrong in an absolutely tremendous way. They deployed one application update. It took them roughly about 1 minute, and 35 minutes later, they lost $440 million. It's staggering, but the reality is that every single day, these configuration errors plague companies all over the world. They annoy us, they annoy our friends, but the reality is for business, they cost fortunes. So why does this happen? So early this year, we went and spoke to a whole heap of people about it. And they told us that with all of these applications come a whole heap of problems that result in manual processes. It also creates really unstructured environments for them to manage. On top of that, all of these applications across all of these servers result in hours worth of manual testing of these configurations. These guys were spending 8 hours testing one of those applications. It's insane. So we went and we built ScriptRock. ScriptRock's really easy to use because you define your configurations in English. At the end of it, you can share those with your team members, and the really cool thing about it is that you can download them and run them as executable tests in real time across your platform. So thousands or even hundreds of thousands of configuration checks can be run and validated in minutes, not hours. At the end of it, you get reports that tell you the health state and the compliance state of your system. So we went back and spoke to those guys that we'd spoken to before, and they told us that after using ScriptRock, they could build their environments faster. That was cool. They could automate a lot of routine tasks. They could reduce headcount, and the really cool thing for us was that this guy was now taking 10 minutes to test one of those applications. In fact, they liked it so much that they bought it on the spot. Now, what's the typical sales process look like for us? Well, typically a company will find us, they'll ask us to get access to it, and they'll start with a POC, like roughly about 20 servers. In ANZ's case, they found us. They quickly started using it. Another group within their organization heard about it, and they bought 50. Another division found out about it. They bought another 100. About 2 months ago, they bought another 250. And I think it was about a month ago, they actually put in another order for 350 due in February. The cool thing about that is that represents a little under 2% of their entire server fleet, not including the desktops. At full ticket price per year, the annual revenue contract value for that customer alone is $1.6 million. It's not sexy, but it's cool. So we've sold to a lot of companies. There's a whole heap. How big is the market? The legacy market, software trapped in data centers around the world. These CIOs and CTOs want to get access to the cloud market. It's an emerging market. It's jumped up by 47% this year. And in the middle of these markets is what's called the data center automation market. Now, all of these markets need configuration testing, and it's one of the most massively spectacular markets that's been missed by a lot of people. And with one virtual machine added every 6 seconds, and 90 million VMs planned on being, or virtual machines being planned on added by the end of this year, it's a phenomenal market. This is our team. We've built some of the largest infrastructure locally for companies like Commonwealth Bank, Lloyd's Banking Group, and internationally for Google. We're also invested by we've been backed by some great guys. Peter Thiel, PayPal, Facebook, Paul Bassett, Seek, Avalon, Scott Petrie, Postini, and actually a weird thing, the guy that came up with the Apple Newton, and Dave McClure Thank you.